Children need adults to teach, guide, and support them as they grow and learn. The most appropriate ways to guide children's behavior may differ from child to child and will depend on the child's age and developmental abilities and needs. Positive and supportive guidance helps children as they learn self-regulation and find appropriate ways to express their wants, needs, views, and feelings. Guiding children's behavior is an ongoing process. Redirecting your child means changing the situation that is contributing to inappropriate behavior. Show your children what you want them to do instead of what they are doing. An especially good teaching technique for younger children. Use words that describe what you want them to do instead of what not to do. Rewards are not to be confused with a bribe. This is presented after a child has demonstrated an ability to follow through with a direction or to use a new skill and ability in meeting household expectation. Rewards can be intangible, as in praise or reading a story or singing a song together, or a reward can be tangible, such as an extra scoop of ice cream. What are some ways that you can reward your children? Do not be fooled by the term ignoring. It is a very active process for the parent. Think of ignoring as the opposite of paying attention. When you ignore your child, you do not neglect them or stand by while they misbehave. Instead, you take all your attention away from your child and their behavior. Ignoring usually helps stop behaviors that your child is using to get your attention. This includes behaviors like throwing tantrums, whining, and interrupting. When you are ignoring, you do not look at your child or talk to them. Ignoring all protests or excuses to get your attention. The goal is to decrease behaviors you do not like or want your child to stop. Ignoring can help you reduce your child's misbehavior. Remember that children love attention. Negative attention like screaming or yelling can be rewarding to a child. This is true especially if you were not paying attention to your child before the misbehavior started. By giving your child attention during tantrums, you may accidentally reward the behavior and increase the chance it will happen again. When you ignore some behaviors, you can make it less likely your child will do that behavior again. Ignoring is usually most effective for behaviors like whining, crying when nothing is physically wrong or hurting, and tantrums. These misbehaviors are often done for attention. If parents, friends, family, or other caregivers consistently ignore these behaviors, they will eventually stop. Granting privileges can be used when your child has shown an increased ability or maturity. Examples are a later bedtime, as long as the child is getting adequate sleep, or a later curfew. When a child misuses a privilege, that privilege can be taken away. This could range from taking away a toy that a child is using to hit another child, or limiting a child's television watching, or grounding a child. Granting privileges can be used when your child has shown an increased ability or maturity. Restitution can be used for children who understand the idea of cause and effect and who are able to perform necessary tasks to make up for the damage they have caused. This could mean working to earn money to pay for damage, returning stolen goods, even if it embarrasses the parent, or admitting to lies or cheating. This needs to be carried out in a very nurturing way so the child's dignity is not damaged. For example, if a child breaks something, the child can participate in devising a plan for paying for the object. The child may decide how much could be deducted from their allowance, or the child may devise a way of working off the debt. Examples are a later bedtime, as long as the child is. Parents who set clear limits and provide explanations tend to have less conflict with their children. Parents who take extreme positions, either setting inflexible rules and demanding total obedience, or creating few rules and allowing for excessive freedom, tend to struggle more with their children. Here are some ways we as parents can set limits in a way that provides for a healthy child-parent relationship. Set clear and consistent limits. Rules should be clear, reasonable, and have specific consequences. When you set an expectation, explain the reasoning behind it. Listen to your child's concerns or objections, but be firm in creating and enforcing limits that have their best interests at heart. If your child breaks a rule, enforce the consequences consistently. Always monitor your children's activities. Be open to negotiation. As children get older, rules may become more flexible and open to negotiation. Listen to your child's concern when discussing chores, curfews, access to the car, and other rules and privileges. By discussing guidelines with your children, you can help your child's ability to think independently, compromise, and negotiate agreements. These are all important life skills. As your children get older, gradually allow more independence. Allow them more independence in stages. Perhaps you transition from shopping with your child to giving them a clothing allowance, with the opportunity to earn extra cash by performing additional chores or taking on a part-time job. Offer your child choices. Find ways to allow your child independence with your rules. You might tell them they need to do their homework or clean their room, for example, but consider allowing them the choice of when they want to do it. Guide without being too controlling. Resist the temptation to control every aspect of your child's life. While you may not share your child's taste in clothes or music, they will benefit from the opportunity to explore different roles and styles as they navigate the process of forming their identity. Take an interest in your child's choices and talk with them about their preferences, offering guidance at getting adequate sleep or a later curfew. When a child misuses a privilege, there is power in praise. Praise and appreciation can play an important part in building a healthy relationship with your children and in guiding their behavior. All of us, including our children, deserve respect and appreciation for who we are, how we are, and the things we've accomplished. This doesn't mean that we overlook difficulties, mistakes, and inappropriate behavior. Rather, it means that we remember to recognize and validate each other's strengths and accomplishments, not just take them for granted. Giving praise is most effective when we describe accurately the specific behavior, achievement, or quality we see in the other person. It is also helpful to acknowledge both the effort involved and the effect of the achievement. In giving praise, pay attention to your tone of voice, eye contact, and facial expressions. Praise is effective in response to both everyday occurrences and major accomplishments. That privilege can be taken away. This could range from taking away a toy that a child is using. Here are some examples of praise. Wow, you dressed yourself in record time today, and you even tied your shoes. Now we will be able to stay outside an extra 10 minutes. You finished reading that chapter book? I remember when you started it. how long it seemed and how hard you thought it was. You're a better reader than you realize. To hit another child, or limiting a child's television watching, or grounding a child. When the bonds are strengthened and children feel nurtured and cared about, cooperation comes more easily. Special time can be for 10 minutes daily, 20 minutes every few days, or an hour a week. Whatever works best for you. The important thing is to set aside a short, defined period of time when you are least likely to be interrupted. Allow your child to choose an activity they enjoy. Join in the play, but let them lead the way. Here are some examples of what you can do during special time. We have just finished talking about ways to guide a child's behavior. Guided behavior is a term used rather than behavior management or discipline. It emphasizes that in guiding a child's learning and behavior, our goal is to build in the child an ability to control and direct oneself. It's always important when we are guiding a child's behavior that we focus on the behavior rather than the child. We do not want to seem like we are attacking or being critical of a child's character, because this may produce feelings of guilt and shame and lower the child's self-esteem.